Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tarnished Bronze. We've got a cult comic special here for you today, and I'm excited to bring you Pleasure Beach, issue one from Josh Pettinger, who we've covered before on the channel. You can see the Tedwood coverage, and he's pretty sort of known in that independent scene for Goiter, Tedwood, and the Werewolf Jones Summer Fun Annual with Simon Hanselman. And just by the way, he's also got a pretty fun podcast called Manga Chat, and you can find that on YouTube. Now, this is his latest sort of saga. We've gone through the Goiter saga and we've gone through the Tedwood saga. This hopefully is going to keep running and running and running. It says it's issue one. It's an oversized magazine special, and it just feels and is printed in a glorious sort of luxurious manner. Now, it kind of starts off with this sort of peculiar kind of undertone of unsettling conversations and unsettling scenes. So we've got these two sort of business people talking to each other, and we've just got this young woman who's just hanging out at home, just filling her day up, listening to some music, playing some video games, and just having a generally relaxed time. Now, this sort of poses the question, are sinister individuals more sinister if what they're sort of talking about doesn't seem overtly malicious, or does that make it more uneasy? I think it makes it more kind of uneasy, and I love this juxtaposition between, these guys are talking about something pretty shady because that guy's getting a real sweater, but you've got this mundane stuff in the background, and Pettinger is really great at drawing these disorienting backgrounds. They're not sort of perfectly the sort of isometric figures. They're not done necessarily with the perspective that you would expect. So the floorboards are all the same kind of width, which makes these scenes and these things that he puts people in incredibly disorienting. And to me it is like having all of these characters and all of these scenarios unfurl in like sort of a Sonic the Hedgehog world, and I mean that in like the biggest compliment. And here we get the reveal. We have all of these weirdo people in this subterranean kind of like sewage and wastewater treatment facility, and it's just below the regular town where people are going about their business and going to loot. And this is just some fantastic draftsmanship here. This just looks great. The expression on her face, the whole scenario just reads real until you see what is also happening here. Just wonderful stuff. And then it seems like this is actually a conspiracy. So there's some sort of conspiratorial business, just very bizarre. We later learn that this is a town that's on an island, so you have to get a ferry to get there, so it's kind of isolated. And so it might be one of those little founder events where something strange manages to replicate and become the norm, much like the United States. There's some strange people that came over, and you can still see some of their communities today. So it seems like there's some sort of conspiracy going on. And in the next little section, we meet our main hero called Beryl, and she is on the bus to get to Pleasure Beach, which is this island town. And she's talking to some weirdos on the bus, and I am totally familiar with weirdos on the bus. I used to get the bus from northern New South Wales to Sydney quite routinely. It's like a 4 to 8 hour bus trip, and you would get a whole bunch of just nutters traveling on the bus. Not sort of, like I said, not sort of malicious people, but just very strange people. And this guy's having a hair transplant and just loving life, trying to chat to these youngsters. Just really strange, always peculiar, great scenes. We know that Josh does stuff from his real life, so maybe he's had some odd and disturbing bus travel as well. And so the bus has this big crash. The bus driver's like just sort of out of it. They're trying to come up with some sort of first aid, but I think that ship has sailed, and Beryl just sets off herself to the ferry because she's sort of just interested in getting back home. So she's had a bar of it. Pettinger does have sort of a walking style. I kind of like it. It just makes people. It makes it. His walking style makes people look very active. And then we get back to the town. It's kind of a ramshackle town. In this scene here, she meets up with the cleaner of her mum's apartment, and the cleaner is just also doubling as some sort of real estate tycoon because lo and behold, the town is going to be inundated with new people and urban renewal because they're going to build a bridge between the mainland and this weird town. And so now we're starting to get conflict, and without conflict, you get no drama. So Beryl is trying to escape to the island. These sewerage people probably don't want to be outed as bathers in sewage and in the urine of the people of the township without them knowing it. So this is all going to come to quite a head. And I will say I've just shown some of the scenes here with the more detailed or the more busy artwork. There's some lovely double page spreads all the way throughout. So it seems like urban renewal, Beryl and her mum are going to be a victim, and Cheryl is all about it. That's why she's got her power suit on. So Beryl leaves her mum's place. She's going to go down to the river to get a bottle of wine and have a bit of a drink and try and relax. But she meets up with Jessica, her school friend, and her brother who has this degenerative skeleton condition. And things have not gone well for the people at home. So they say you can never go home again. Because home has changed and I have changed and Beryl has changed. Things have gotten worse for at least Jessica and her brother who has the degenerating thing, and they tried to do a GoFundMe online and it didn't really work. So this is just like another really great scene where Beryl is just confronted with home and it is terrible. Now, she finally gets out of there. She gets down to the river and she's just going to try and enjoy herself and maybe just exist on planet Earth a little bit, but it's not going to be that simple. She's going to become sort of embroiled in multiple things, I think. And so I'm not going to spoil the sort of cliffhanger ending, but I really, really like this. These are great comics. They don't have any superhero stuff necessarily, but they do have a lot of supernatural things going on. There's something in these worlds that is uncanny and sort of strange and a bit rum, a bit off. And so this issue is packed with story. Like I said, it's got some beautiful double page spreads and double page art in it. It's oversized, like I said, it's magazine size. It's extremely satisfying as a single comic. Like you read this and you can read it again and you get a lot out of it. It's not sort of hyper detailed, but there are things that you can pick up on the second read. The art's terrific and the story's intriguing and it's deeply unsettling. And I'm here for it. I enjoy it a lot, and I encourage you guys to check it out if you're at all interested, or if you enjoy Tedwood or Goiter, you can get it on the Josh Pettinger or the Goiter website. So Where Tarnished Bronze, there's a lot of cult comics that we've covered on the channel. You can like, follow, and subscribe, and you can support some indie comics by going out there and trying this. See you in the next one.